We are switching things up this week. Cue the intro. Hey everybody, welcome back to 10 at a Time, the short long form show. I'm your host, William Pierreville, and it is Swifty night here at Dancing with the Stars. What's up, everyone? It's been a crazy week for me. I'm in tech for the show that I'm doing in DC at Arena Stages. I'm actually in previews. Last night we had our first preview. And if you are a theater person, a theater girl, a theater guy, a theater maker, you know that what I'm experiencing right now rivals anything up until the fifth level of Dante's Inferno. It is actually so debilitating. It's a purgatory. This tech process has been really cool because my cast is cool, my team is cool, everybody is black in here. That's great, and it's a very black show. And so there's a very like humane aura in the room. And the play is good, and that's awesome too. So come see it. It's called Fremont Avenue at Arena Stages. But usually tech in theater is just like you trying to dissociate as much as possible as people poke and prod, and like it's almost like being a crab in or like a lobster in a pot as the heat rises. Dwayne, please don't even start right now, my boy. Anyway, their food's about to come out in like 5 minutes. Anyway. Here's the thing. Now that I'm here, my call time is in like 90 minutes. I'm going to try to get in and out of here quick, fast, dirty, nasty, right? And we can do it. I believe in me. Do you believe in me? Because I believe in you. I want to get in and out of here. But I want to say 10 at a Time started as me coming in here talking about one thing for 10 minutes. It was when TikTok first launched the 10-minute feature. And as someone who is, notoriously unshut the fuck upable, I was like, finally, I'm unleashed. You know what I mean? Like, I have never gotten home after a long day and taken off my bra, but that's what I felt like when TikTok lets you talk for more than 3 minutes. Like that kind of like, oh, fuck, it was so good. But even then, right, me going in, I'm saying, this is the subject that I'm talking about this week. And I'm going to talk about it for 10 minutes, uninterrupted, no edits, no nothing. Even then I would go like 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. And it just kept getting longer and longer. I wasn't actually developing the discipline and honoring the premise of the show that I had created. And then it became this thing, right? Mind you, they opened the 10-minute feature and I was like, thank God I can talk for 10 minutes. That was a bad idea because then I went on to make Love Island breakdowns that lasted for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes. And you people watched it all. And you never should have let me know that. Then it became this thing, right? What it is now. Like a full podcast. I love the name 10 at a Time. I liked the initial conceit. I liked taking the audience with me to YouTube, to this long form platform and doing another thing. But I think that we want to get back to like a more rigid structure. It's just a little too loosey-goosey laissez-faire in this house. I want us to get back to some disciplined, regimented structure. So I want to be inspired by the original conceit. This is how the show is going to change from here on out. I'm going to try this. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And I'm going to jump into something. And when that timer is up, we got to move on. Whatever I got in, I got in. Whatever I didn't, I didn't. I might give myself a minute or two here or there. But don't start counting, baby. Baby, don't start counting. Okay? You are not the police. You are not the authorities in this house. It is still a dictatorship. The 10 minutes I honor because I respect you. I respect you. But don't come in here trying to set the rules. Amen. I'm going to start a timer and I'm going to go. And I'm just going to chat. Timer's off. We got to move on to the next act. We've been going down these winding roads and long, treacherous journeys. And you boop. And you fall down a cliff like Wile E. Coyote. You fall down a cliff. And I don't know how to get us back to the original subject or anything like that. So I think that this is going to be fun for us. I think it'll be fun for me. And I think that there are fun things we can do inside of that, games we can play. Maybe I'll do a segment called 2 at a Time where listeners get to call in and they get to do their 2-minute rant about their fuck ass landlord who slept with their partner. Anyway, let's get into the show. This is what you came here for. 1, Dancing with the Stars and Crimes Against Kenny Ortega. 2, Broadway might be shutting down, and so is the government. 3, Taylor Swift and the Color of Friendship. 4, why swindlers hate prenups. Are you down for all of that? If you're not down for all of that, just leave the video now. If you can't handle me at my Andy Richter, you don't deserve me at my Whitney Levitt. You understand? So either you're in right now and you're signing that contract, exclusive, non-negotiable, set term, no outs, or you get out now. Again, I'm setting the rules in this bitch. Act 1. Dancing with the Stars and Crimes Against Kenny Ortega. Guys, I'm watching Dancing with the... Hold on. Let me find a timer. There's a timer on the phone. I could use my phone timer. I know, but be right back. Where is the clock app? The real clock app. Not. We're going. Dancing with the Stars and Crimes Against Kenny Ortega. Listen, guys, I've never watched Dancing with the Stars before. Not a single season in my entire life. Of course, I know what Dancing with the Stars is, and I know that Zendaya won at some point. And I think that's maybe the only... No. Marissa. Oh my gosh, the lady who played the original Tracy Turnblad, I can't remember it. Marissa Winokur, also won. For the most part, that's all I know about Dancing with the Stars, and I know that the people go on there and they dance and they have professionals, and then the stars have stars, and sometimes they sleep with each other, or maybe that's something that I made up in my head. But the more I'm learning about the lore, some of them get married, so I'm sure some of them do sleep together. There's a lot of passion and chemistry that's shared between the celebrities and I'm sure that a lot of spouses of celebrities become deeply uncomfortable. I'm sure that if I had a partner and I saw them getting chopped and screwed and tossed and flipped and dipped and sucked and folded by another person, it would be hard for me. It would be hard for me. I don't know if that's true. That is true. Anyway, what's happening is that I'm expanding the horizons of my reality show consumption. I started with the hard competition shows, The Challenge, Survivor, Big Brother, so on and so forth. And now I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, damn, maybe middle America is really onto some shit. I thought this shit was corny and I was too good and I was too cool and I was too bad. No one is ever too cool to watch Malia Obama dance to Lindy Hop. You know what I mean? Like, we could just have fun sometimes. The issue is that it's like hyper commercial. Oh my gosh, Dancing with the Stars is hyper commercial. It's not just like the commercials that appear like throughout the show. It's that the show itself is its own type of commercial, and it's so clear and apparent. Anyway, right now the commercial that they're really pitching is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Clearly, they've got 2 girls from that show on this season alone, and then one of the Mormon wives with the secret life is actually going to be the Bachelorette. How are you the Bachelorette and a Mormon wife at the same time with a secret life? That I guess I'm not making those calls. Beyond this, I guess the thing is too is I'm like, Mormon PR right now is going crazy. You know, Mormons are only like 2% of the population, and yet everywhere you look, well, let's not even get into a conspiracy theory. I don't want y'all pinning me as someone who's spinning motherfucking conspiracies. Okay, I don't want y'all. Listen, that's just a note. Let's get back to the show. The issue is that Dancing with the Stars, so here's the premise. They get like 13, 14, 15 celebrities, and there are upward bound celebrities on Dancing with the Stars, like Alex Earl, like Jordan, who is an Olympian, like the Mormon Wives, and there are downward bound celebrities, like people who were previously famous, more famous, and now are less famous. Some people use Dancing with the Stars as a stepping stone. Some people use it as a funeral home, and that's just the truth of it. But they get all of these celebrities together, and they pair them with dance professionals, ballroom dance professionals, and every week they have to do a routine. And there's a panel of 3 judges, and we will get to that, and then America votes. The issue is when America votes on who gets to go home, I don't fucking trust America. I don't trust you guys. I think that America, A, racist, A, sexist, A, xenophobic, A, what else? Homophobic, A, fatphobic, A. What is another one? You know what I mean? America, you guys, the taste in this country is so wonky. And the issue with like competition shows also, a lot of the time, especially when they're pitched towards middle America, is that like there is such a fascination with just, sorry, I don't know how else to say it, like loserdom. Like people who are not good being rewarded for not being good because people feel bad for them or they think they're endearing. They like launch these people up and lift them up as mascots, infantilized mascots, instead of being like, okay, well, that's a grown up that can't dance on a dancing show. Hello? They like turn these people into teddy bears and cuddly things, and it's like, it's pathetic for me. Like, I really don't like it. I really don't fucking like it. I'm like, it's a dancing show. You have to be able to dance, point blank, period. And so this is what America does. First, like the only black man on the show eliminated, his black professional partner eliminated. Corey Feldman, gone. I don't care about that. Next week, Lauren, I don't know her last name, from Fifth Harmony got eliminated. Big Latina girl. Fuck was that? She was an incredible dancer. Y'all invited all of Fifth Harmony. She's from Fifth Harmony. Y'all invited all of Fifth Harmony to the front row of the Dancing with the Stars ballroom to watch their girl get fucking eliminated behind Andy Richter. That was disgusting to me. That was disgusting to me. America, you voted for that. Why? Oh, guys, vote for Andy. He's so cute. Andy reminds you of your dad. And that's why you can't hold him accountable for his shortcomings. Anyway. Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Hold on, guys. My bad with that one. Anyway, one of the judges, Carrie Ann, she's always kind of going on this like wax philosophical crazy shit. Sometimes it's hard for her to land the point that she's trying to say, but I think it's because she's the only person really trying to tell the truth about what's going on. Derek Huff, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. The last judge on the end, I can't remember his name right now. Always standing up, always. I appreciate the energy, and that's all I say. I like you. Not everything needs to be that, though. But hey, we need a little variety. I fuck with that. Carrie Ann said the other episode, it's hard to judge you all because everyone is coming in at such different levels. And that is true. But the issue is that when you grade on a curve, what ends up happening is that all of the people who come in without very much skill, which is usually the men, are rewarded for them doing like getting to the basic levels of dance, whereas all of the women who happen this season to be at the upper levels, like the upper limits of being able to be a good non-professional dancer, are being punished because they have skills. So the only way Alex Earl is going to get a 10 is if she does a triple backflip. But if Dylan Efron does the cha-cha slide without missing a step, then all of a sudden he gets 10s across the board. It's not fucking fair. And the reason I say this specifically is Lauren was so fucking good. That was my girl. She was my one. Do you understand? I just think she was so effortless and suave and sophisticated. Lauren just had such a beautiful sense of ease in her movement quality. I thought that she was such a gifted dancer. And here comes America on that like, she doesn't seem excited enough to be here. She seems kind of mean. She seems kind of, you guys are so fucking lame. That's not the prompt of the show. And if you want it to be a popularity contest, then let it be a popularity contest. But then you have these judges here. You have these fucking judges here. Who knows what the rubric is? I think that would actually be really helpful is if Dancing with the Stars on their website or something released a rubric with defined criteria so that people at home could understand what the judges were really like basing this shit off. You know what I'm saying? Because how is it that Dylan Efron, pretty face Dylan Efron, I think they want to get Zac Efron on the show so bad that they're just trying to get, they want Zac Efron in the audience of the ballroom because that's something that Middle America would love or something. Dylan Efron is up there doing the Tootsie slide, and every time they pan the camera to the judges and you see Derek Huff, he's on his feet. Alfonso is talking about the ballroom is on their feet, and so is Derek Huff. Derek Huff is talking about you are a leading man. I saw an al dente noodle dance around the ballroom, and a woman who like literally like an Olympic level dancer swirled around that al dente noodle for 45 seconds throughout their routine. Daniela, Dylan's dancer, incredible professional dancer. She makes him look, and honestly, she doesn't make him look that good. She makes herself look that good. Every time Dylan fails to be the main character of his own dance. Meanwhile, Alex Earl as Maleficent. Alex Earl week 2. Alex Earl week 1. The shit, and here's the thing. Guys, I'm not good at remembering why people are mad at each celebrity. It's not a part of my brain that I think is constructive. There are so many other things that I would rather even think about and like prioritize memorizing. People are mad at Alex Earl on the internet. She's probably like some kind of racist or something like that. Whatever. I'm talking about Dancing with the Stars right now. You know what I mean? It is what it is. She could be all those awful things. She's a great dancer. I could never take that from her. Every single fucking week, the girl comes out with heat. Gas, 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 gas. Yeah, Alex, what I want you to work on is shut the fuck up. You literally pulled Dylan Efron's pants down and slobbed him every week for him doing the YMCA. What the fuck are we talking about? Alex Earl in costume as fucking Maleficent on Disney Night was crazy. Why did Whitney get to do Hamilton on Disney Night? That doesn't feel fair to me. I don't know why Whitney, who is one of the Mormon housewives, I don't know why she unsettles me so. You know? And I want to love, she's a great dancer and I want to be down for it and I want to love it. But she is like exactly the kind of white woman that like I know is powerful to have as a friend and deadly to have as an enemy. And so those kind of white women, I just steer clear altogether. I'd rather not exist to you. You know what I'm saying? She is so gifted and so scary. How much time do I have left? Oh my God, 30 seconds. Actually, I'm not done. I'm gonna reset the timer here because we really got to get into some real shit. I'm gonna take 20 today. This is gonna be today's 20. That's what this will be. Here's a list of the nights that I want to see on Dancing with the Stars. Here's a list. I want to have no music. I want to have that night. I want to have RPG night where the people dance to iconic video game music. I want to have theme song night where people dance to iconic music across the media landscape. Can you imagine someone dancing to Obtuse Rubber Goose Green Moose Lava Juice or whatever it is? I want to have Foley artist night where the dancers dance in silence, but there is a really good team of Foley artists that are like doing the sound effects for their dance. Whoop, woo, ka 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 ka, ding 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 ding, beep, boom, 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 just like that. And I want to have state song night. The issue with state song night is that it is going to get like really fucked up really fast. Every week before the dancers go, they talk about their rehearsal period and also their inspiration for their rehearsal period. But on state song night, they talk about the really fucked up history of all the state songs. What do you think the Swanee River, the state song of Florida, is about? Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away. I'm out of time. As for Dancing with the Stars, Elaine, I need you in this game. Jordan, I need you in this game. Alex Earl, you're carrying this game on your fucking back. Whitney, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Robert Irwin, I think you've got great potential, but you're trying to dip into that pretty boy privilege like Dylan Efron has. You're better than that. What's also crazy about Dancing with the Stars is that there's so much nasty lore in the background of everything that's happening. Like people... Every time I get on the internet and see the show, people are introducing me to some like deep, hidden, mysterious bullshit that happens in the background. The people who have had relationships, who have broken up their relationships, who have gotten married and had kids, and all of them are, it's like there are two factions, the Montagues and Capulets, and some of them, the Montagues are Mormon and the Capulets are Russian. There's no one else allowed in the ballroom, and that's why they're systematically eliminating all the Latinas and black people. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the foxtrot. I don't like when they dance jazz. I feel like when they dance jazz, it gets to just be any type of old bullshit that they throw together. Jazz is, I think they're using jazz as a placeholder for freestyle. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Whenever anybody says I'm dancing jazz, I don't like it. Something about Whitney's partner, Mark, and people are talking about he's allowed to get away with anything, and that doesn't blend well with Whitney's capacity for intimidation. I'm not too sure. Jen just had a baby. Danielle Fishel just had like a major surgery. Elaine, I think, also just had a major surgery. Hilaria just had a major surgery. Both those last two are like older women. You know what I mean? They're not like old as shit, but they're older women. You know, they're not like young, spry in their prime. You know, like 20 something year olds. They're mature women. Alex Earl is incredibly athletic, incredibly musical. You know. Precise. Whitney is a trained dancer. All of these people. Jordan is a literal Olympian, gymnastics Olympian. Lauren was part of one of the biggest girl groups of all time. She can take choreography. All of these women are outperforming Dylan, outperforming Andy, outperforming that first guy who went home, outperforming the other first guy who went home. All of these women are outperforming these men because they have worked for it in other capacities. And actually, it just like, it's part of the structural failure of Dancing with the Stars. You're punishing people for happening to be good. One thing that I never understood, I love America coming together behind one united cause. And I wish that one united cause could be anything that actually fucking mattered. But it seems like the one united cause that America did come together around. 40 million votes in the last episode of Dancing with the Stars that just happened this past week. 40 million. 40 million. right? And it was all to get Hilaria out of the fucking ballroom. Hilaria Baldwin. I don't know. I've heard from people that Hilaria is cosplaying as a Latina woman, and that she's pretending to forget words in English and so on and so forth. And there's all this stuff about Hilaria Baldwin, who is like born and raised in Jersey or something like that by two Caucasian American parents. And she's in interviews talking about, how do you say, and that is fucking crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But I don't believe that y'all give that much of a fuck about the racism. I know people in my life and me who I'm like, yeah, that's definitely weird and that's definitely racist. But I know like white Americans, it's very similar to like when Sierra got eliminated from Love Island, and all of these white people who I'm sure like have like these white women who like, I'm like, your boyfriend has said worse shit than Sierra has said, and you still love him. You know what I'm saying? Like swaths and swaths of white women who are like, we hate Hilaria. What is this really fucking about? Because it can't be about the fact that she's doing this crazy ass, strange ass bit that in some lights, I will admit, is a little funny. Because it's actually fucking crazy to do. But Ariana Grande, you know, painted herself hazelnut brown for like 3 years. Ariana Grande literally stole all of Victoria Monet's personality for like an entire era of her career. Where's my cookies? Where's my juice? And we still love Ariana Grande. That was weird too. I don't think that y'all would have campaigned for Ariana Grande to be removed from the Dancing with the Stars ballroom. So what's it really about? Let's really wake it up. I don't know. I don't know how this like hive mind collective beef against Hilaria Baldwin got started, but it's very fascinating to me that people were so fucking satisfied to see her go home when she actually was a really good dancer, and like she seemed like she was working really hard, and it sounded like she was so happy to be there. But the only person, that's my fucking issue. The only person that it matters that they're happy to be there is Andy. Oh, Andy's so sweet. He's so nice. Andy's so sweet. He's so nice. Everyone is so happy to be here. You have to get over it. This, like, it's so Revenge of the Nerds, honestly. Americans are so obsessed with underdogs and so, like, resistant to, like, professionals and people who are qualified. Qualification. Americans love the idea that someone they didn't expect to win is winning because they project themselves into those positions, because Americans generally, like, I think are pretty unremarkable people when you look at the global scale of things. We just happened to, like, capitalize off of slavery the best as a nation, right? And, like, convert that. A select group of exceptional people built this nation. Most of them were black. And then, like, everyone gets to be like, greatest country in the world. You guys can't read. The Americans with the resources that we have are so underperforming. You know what I mean? Resources per capita. Other people are doing more with less. So, but the thing is, I think Americans have that kind of like inferiority complex, and so they like to see people winning who don't deserve to win. There's a difference, right? You wouldn't expect Elaine to win. Andy does not deserve to win. And there's a difference between those two. Andy is unqualified. He is not an underdog. He's unqualified. Elaine is an underdog. You would not expect her to win, but she has all of the tools, the resources, the drive, the passion, and the skills to do so. It's honestly, and it's also like condescending the way people like Andy. Anyway, that's me. That's sorry. I have to move on from this because I really do get like fired up about it. You should watch me. Like I one day I'll go live watching one of these episodes because it's me like screaming. I'm hitting myself on the head. Derek Huff like owes Dylan Efron money or something. He's giving Andy a standing ovation and then talking around the fact that he clearly thinks Andy can't dance. And then he's talking about the line of the body when he gets to fucking Alex Earl or something like that and gives her a 7 and Dylan an 8. It's disgusting. It's fucking lame. You know who can dance and who can't dance. And you guys hiding behind like, oh, different people are at different levels and we're grading them differently. It's creating an unfair, inconsistent system where the people who showed up showing their best are being punished for it. That's fucking lame. In America, you're enabling this behavior. Carrie Ann, as you were. Okay, guys, how was that session on a scale of 1 to 10? Was it good for you? Because it was great for me. Amen, amen. Act 2. Did you guys know Broadway is going on strike? Maybe, possibly. Broadway is possibly going on strike. Here's why. Because these producers are so dirty, nasty, grubby, greedy. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. So Broadway, if you don't know what Broadway is, it's a place in New York where theater people make the most money that they could possibly make. I was going to say where all the best shows are, but that's not true. That is not true. Not all the best shows are on Broadway. Some of them are off Broadway. Some of them are regional. There's great work. There's great theater work happening all around this country and all around the world. But Broadway is definitely where people make the most money. Actors, creators, designers, tech people, producers, everyone on Broadway. That's generally speaking the most money that you can make making theater. And even as an actor, that's still no fucking money. You know what I mean? Get like in perspective, you might think like, oh my God, they make a couple $1,000s a week. It's actually still, at the end of the day, when you do the math, no fucking money. I know this because I got a BFA in musical theater. Amen. I studied theater. I studied other things too, but I studied theater. And when you really do the math, like the grown up math, it doesn't shake out. And that's just the truth. And that's a lot, honestly, and I'm realizing this now that my frontal lobe is fully cooked. And I wish that someone like sat me down as a child and really made me understand this. But even as a child, and as a child, I mean an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old, like someone in undergrad studying this as a craft, as an art, there was no way that my mind, without having had the experience of really being able to live in the world and support myself, there's no way I really could have understood not only the stakes, not only the improbability, sure, all of that, but also like the realities of what success means even in that industry, and how much it can leave you still lacking and needing. I got homies on Broadway right now. Girl, they're tired. Let me tell you something. That shit is blue collar work. You go to school and get a degree. Everybody on Broadway right now has a degree from Carnegie Mellon and Michigan State and Florida State and NYU and so on and so forth. They got it from Baldwin Wallace. They got these expensive ass degrees that they went into debt for. They're working a blue collar job 6 days a week, only 1 day off in the week. Sometimes you're doing that show 2 times in 1 day, and you got to work your body through injury, through discomfort, through aging, through sickness. You got to work that body because, again, you got a real limited number of sick days. That's something that they're trying to negotiate right now. You got a real limited number of call outs. You got a real limited number, you know what I mean? You get a real limited health insurance. You get a real limited pension. That health insurance does not extend to your family. So if you do have children, you got to pay for health insurance outside of them because the union doesn't get you health insurance for your family. And that's when I heard that there was no family health insurance, don't quote me on that, but I'm 95% sure. When I heard that there was no family health insurance and that you had to fucking like Cobra that shit or like get it from a third party or something like that, dog, I'm doing a play right now. I'm a theater person right now. But I was like, this cannot be the bread and butter of how I support myself and like the future family that I want for myself. There's no way. What do you mean? You don't have the infrastructure for people to insure their families. And then you want to talk about like, shout out to moms on Broadway. Get that mom insurance for her fucking kids. What are you talking about? What's happening is that the theaters that exist in New York, in Manhattan, in like the Times Square general area are part of the Broadway League. Not every theater in Manhattan, not every show that is being advertised to you as a Broadway show is a Broadway show. What designates a Broadway show is that it exists in a specific zip code, right, in a specific area of Manhattan, and that the producers of that show are part of the Broadway League. The Broadway League is theater owners, it's producers, it's whatever. These people are negotiating a like a boilerplate contract that will exist for, a term with the acting union. So the acting union is coming on behalf of actors to negotiate against all the, money people on Broadway. And they're saying you have to contribute more to people's health insurance. You have to contribute more to actors' retirements and pensions. You have to give more sick leave and more time off. You have to give more injury compensation. You have to give more workers' comp. Like basic things that every other workplace and every other union is able to add to negotiate with their workplace. You know what I'm saying? The Broadway League niggas are like, what if we actually cut the minimum for all the positions of support that we had to hire, and we didn't give you more health insurance, and we didn't give you more pension? If you're a theater person, then a couple of months ago they were like, understudies are the heroes of the theater because COVID was running rampant and nobody was masking and nobody was being careful, right? So here are these understudies and swings, all types of situations that people were getting into, dangerous situations that people were getting into, because the show must go on, the show must go on, the show must go on. Now, part of the negotiations here is that these producers want to hire less swings. They want to hire less understudies. When 90% of the shows that you see happening in the theater don't have enough coverage. They don't. You need more. They're trying to negotiate a lower minimum. It's fucking crazy. They don't want to raise pay with inflation. These greedy people, and they're going to try to spin it just like the actors strike. This is why I'm talking about this. They're going to try to spin it as though these actors and these performers and these stage managers, all of the people who exist inside the AEA, the Actors Equity Association, which includes stage managers, they're going to act like these people are being grubby and selfish and that they want more money and more this and more that. And you know what? Maybe I am and maybe I do, because the people are already under fucking paid for a job you have to show up to and sacrifice your body to like 6 out of the 7 days in a week. No holiday, no this, no that. Holiday schedule on Broadway is fucking crazy. This is one of the most lucrative years that Broadway has ever had. And that was printed by major publications. That was in the fucking New York Times or whatever the fuck it was. You already told us you're making buku money. So what do you mean that the people who are putting their bodies on the front line to make you that buku money can't ask for a reasonable compensation, a raise in their pay to match inflation? Do not let these people spin it into the artist being selfish, dog. It's these money people being selfish. Speaking of money people being selfish, the government is shut down. Why the fuck? Dude, this shit happens every fucking year. And what's sad about it is that I feel like I'm pretty tapped into the news. I'm an adult. I'm competent. You know what I mean? I'm tapped into what's going on around me. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now. Why did I find out yesterday that we're a week into a government shutdown? I said, why the fuck these niggas always going on vacation? That's really what this is about, isn't it? I'm looking around. I see National Guardsmen all around. I find out that they're not getting paid this week. They might be getting back paid. Wouldn't trust that. Anyway, what happens when the government shuts down is that national parks shut down. Damn. Social services shut down. Damn. Infrastructural services slow down. Damn. They're talking about, is the mail happening? I don't fucking know. You know what I do know? My black ass in Washington, D.C., I can't go to I can't go to the Smithsonian. I can't go to the Black History Museum. Imagine me, African in America, and I can't go to the African American History Museum. It was disgusting to hear that. Open the shit back up immediately. Get these niggas back to work and back on their payroll. You understand? Hold on, not these niggas back to work. Hold on. Wait a minute. Not get these niggas back to work. Wait a minute. I want to reframe that. Redo. Get these good, kind, educated professionals back to their work in their museum and get them back on their payroll and on their benefits. Because you know who I know is getting paid? Congress. I know they're going to get their money. Y'all are so fucking pathetic. You know what the government shutdown is about? Hold on, I'm running out of time. You know what the government shutdown is about? If you go to the White House website, at the top there's a banner that says Democrats have caused a government shutdown, and there's a timer counting how long the government shutdown has gone on. Yes, Democrats have caused a government shutdown. Do you know why? Because they're putting their foot down in the negotiation of a new budget. There's a budgetary agreement that isn't going through because they're at a standstill. They're at a stalemate. You know why? Because Democrats want them to extend a tax credit that will ensure that millions of Americans keep their health insurance. Why do these people want to cut people's health insurance so bad? Dude, they want doctors to be so fucking exclusive like goddamn LeBain. Why do they want, nigga? You can't have doctors be an exclusive Hermes experience, dog. Why do you want that? So it's like they're hungry for it. And like literally, I'm not even super down with the partisan shit and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that like Democrats are like the salvation of the nation or anything like that. But I'm saying one side wants people to not have health insurance badly. They're hungry for it. They're eager to cut your kid off SNAP benefits. And it's like, for what? For what? Yes. Technically, sure, you can frame it that way. Democrats have caused a government shutdown because they want people to stay healthy. They want people to still have medical access. That's it. Can you imagine being a politician and someone on the opposite side is like, I'm not going to sign this bill you wrote until you guarantee me that my constituents will have health insurance, and being a person that's like, nah, fuck them niggas. Can you imagine that, dog? I'm out of time. Damn it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This shit kind of hard. I got to get my fitness up. But sometimes in the 10 minutes, I feel like I'm running out of things to say. And then sometimes in the 10 minutes, I feel like I have too much to say. And it's always right at the end that I feel like I have way too much to say. But we gotta keep pushing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Taylor Swift in The Color of Friendship. Taylor Swift dropped an album, dude. Immediately, everybody got so weird. everybody got really weird from jump, including Taylor Swift, as is evident by her album. Here's what's very clear is that no one has very much to say about the merit of the album itself, because it's pretty clear that to most people the album is not good. I am most people. I'm saying this as someone, I fuck with T Swift on occasion. You know what I mean? I'm with her when she's right. I'm with you when you're right. T Swift. Mine? You made a son of a careless man's careful daughter. You put your arm around me for the first time. That's a fucking hit. Oh my God. That shit makes me wanna fucking Let me tell you something. You know when they used to say, you know when people used to get in trouble because they'd be like, I swear there's a black woman inside me. There's a white girl inside me. And I love to damn it. I love that shit, bro. I gotta get that off every now and then. You gotta let that out. Teardrops on my guitar. You know what I mean? Our song is the slamming screen doors, sitting out late down on your window, and you're on the phone. T Swift, I'm with you when you're right. Evermore. Folklore. Nobody, no crime. I'm with you when you're right, T. I'm with you when you're right. But you be wrong a lot of the time, bro. Hey, you be wrong as shit often and frequently. But the issue is people got weird. There's a lot of people who have a lot of legitimate cultural credit. 1989, I'm with you when you're motherfucking right, T. But you be wrong as shit. There's a lot of people who have like a lot of really legitimate cultural criticisms of Taylor Swift, which are valid. There's a lot of people who have a lot of really legitimate musical criticism for Taylor Swift, which is valid. Again, the album is not super good, but there are mostly people who are participating in this in like as like some kind of like cult of celebrity obsession. I don't think they really care about the music. I don't think they really believe that Taylor Swift is the herald of evil and white supremacy in this country, but it's just like they're doing a TMZ thing and want to frame it as like social justice work. They're doing a TMZ thing and they want to frame it as like music criticism. It's not. It's celebrity worship, except the type of celebrity worship that makes you obsessively like hate on a person that, look, I get it. You hate that the girl flies her private jet a lot. That's bad. That's bad. Being a billionaire, that's bad. Flying your private jet to and fro from Walmart and back, that's bad. You know what else is bad? There's a small agricultural community that is having a data center built up in their fucking backyard that is going to poison generations of people. I just think like, what are we really talking about? You know what I mean? Like I just think that the conversation has like reached a point. It's reached a fervor where it's a little ridiculous. And here I am talking about it on my fucking podcast like an idiot. Damn it. But I hate it too. I hate that Taylor Swift is a 35-year-old billionaire always talking about, you know, high school-esque beef. It's going to get really embarrassing. I think what's going to be really embarrassing is that Taylor Swift is going to reach 45 and all of this shit is going to be mortifying. When she has to go like back into concert and ignore entire swaths of her discography because she was stuck in a type of artistic and also like seemingly personal arrested development for decades. A lot of this stuff on this album is incredibly juvenile, including like this. Look. The music lately is pretty bad. The lyrics, pretty fucking bad. And the lyrics being bad is crazy because everybody told us it doesn't matter that Taylor Swift can't dance, can't act, can't sing competitively with other people in her peer group, can't like perform all that well, but she's a great writer. She's a poet. And I think that you guys thinking that the value in Taylor Swift's music is the poetry, I think that that's actually indicative of the deep and pervasive nature of the literacy crisis. It's not the poetry, baby. She sings pop songs like everyone else sings pop songs. It's not like biblical text. Some of that shit is really good. A lot of it, the quality control in the Swift camp has gone to the wayside. One of the things is that that's come out of this is that I'm learning a lot about the Taylor Swift lore, including this beef that she has with Charlie XCX. The thing is, Charlie XCX wrote a song called Sympathy is a Knife. And Sympathy is a Knife is a song that's about Charlie XCX's insecurity in comparison to other women in the industry, but in particular Taylor Swift and how she feels these like feelings of inadequacy, right? Taylor Swift takes that as a fucking diss, I guess, and writes a response diss track to a track that wasn't really a diss track. And it's a song called Actually Romantic. And she's talking about this cokehead bitch. You know what? It's actually romantic that you're so fucking obsessed with me, you loser. damn, Taylor, that's a paraphrase of the song. It's not a very liberal paraphrase. It's just about that for 3.5 minutes. It's actually romantic how bad you fucking are obsessed with me, you loser, coked out geek, brokey. That's pretty much what Taylor said. And it's like, damn, Taylor, why did that bother you so much that allegedly Charlie XCX called you boring one time? Girl, you're a fucking blonde middle American princess, billionaire, goddamn, like dating a pro athlete football player. Like, come on, babe. Like you're a trope. You're a trope. It is boring. The girls who like you are boring. The girls who like you are, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, look, this is another thing too. Like, I think that a lot of people want Taylor Swift to be the center of the evil that they're trying to exorcise from the world. You know what I mean? This capitalist white bullshit. Taylor Swift is a symptom of those things, but like she, at the end of the day, I think is mostly a mascot for them, besides the fact that she is a billionaire herself and da. But for the most part, like I think that she is an effigy that people are using, when in actuality, you got to start talking about these motherfucking data centers. But that's not as fun to talk about. And I get that. No, I get that. I'm not talking about the data centers either. I'm talking about Taylor Swift too. Shit. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm not going to lie to you. I know I'm just talking about Taylor Swift. I know this is TMZ right now. I can see myself for who I am in the monitor of this camera. I think the reason that Taylor Swift really was so bothered by Charlie XCX talking about her negatively in mixed company, you know, even though Taylor Swift is like so impervious to criticism, insulated from criticism by both her fan base and her money and her career and her success, is that Charlie XCX, I'm pretty sure I imagine has the respect of people that Taylor Swift wants to have the respect of and does not. Do you know what the fuck Brat Summer was? Nigga, we haven't had some shit like Brat Summer since Pokemon Go, and a lot of people weren't fucking there. A lot of people weren't there. We haven't had a Brat Summer since Pokemon Go, like 9 years ago. 2016, goddamn, the country's in turmoil. This nigga just became president. No, was just about to become president. He's running amok in the presidential election, and he really might win. The first time we were ever going to have that monster in office. This is, you know, it's Brat Summer. Man, Brat Summer was some shit that you really just had to be there for. And you know what, Taylor? You could do all the Eras tour you want. You could do all the whatever. And you've got the hits and you've got the classics. And you got the things that the girls do at karaoke. But you've never quite, and some people might disagree, but for me personally, and I'm not a person that really like, I need Charlie. Brat Summer was cool for me. But I can recognize real that Charlie XCX is just a different type of unfuckwittable. You know what I mean? He's just a different type of unfuckwittable than Taylor. Taylor has this very curated, very precise, whatever, calculated media image. And Charlie XCX just feels like a person that you want to get down with. Sometimes you don't get invited to the party because you don't do cocaine. And I've suffered from that personally. Okay, so I understand Taylor. But what Taylor doesn't have is a motherfucking Brat Summer. You can say that Eras Tour was a Brat Summer for some people. Not for me. Not for my people. But Brat Summer was for everybody. And we haven't had some shit like Brat Summer since like 9 years ago. Last time we had some shit bring the country together like Brat Summer, it was Pokemon Go. You had to fucking be there. You had to be there. If you weren't there, dog, if you weren't alive with free will, a car with some gas money, look, there's a raid battle downtown and you got to get there. When I tell you everybody's at the park, everybody's at the gathering place, out in the streets, it doesn't matter what. Listen, I don't see color. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, indigo, maroon, magenta, yellow, green, chartreuse. Nigga, do you have a Pikachu? Do you want to trade or not? We haven't had shit come together since Pokemon Go like that, the way Brat Summer brought people together. It was bigger than the music. It was bigger than the fan base. It was bigger than the cult following. It was bigger. It was something else entirely. And I think that's why Taylor is so fucking pressed about it. Again, I don't really have that much to say about the music besides the fact that it's not very good. If you do want to hear a song about the literary figure Ophelia from William Shakespeare's Hamlet, one that's actually good, stream Pink Panthers. I'm telling you that shit right now. Girl, I love Pink Panthers so bad. I respect that girl. I think she has such a beautiful artistry. You want to talk about someone who's really into the fucking poetry? Go tap into some Pink Panthers and what she's doing in terms of like what she's writing literary fiction in her songs. You know what I'm saying? And she makes it rhyme too. She is so gifted at making really infectious music. And it's not all this like hyper literal, like on the nose allegory, obvious metaphor. Like, gosh, man, these Swifties trying to talk like Taylor Swift is like a poet laureate or something like that. It's like, it's not. She's just not. She's just not that. You like the songs, that's fine. It's nostalgic for you, and you're bought into a system that you can't buy your way out of. It's a fucking mafia, these people. But let's be honest. Taylor Swift also, I mean, just as much as I think that the Swifties are delusional and the Swifties are whatever, and they're like too loud and bombastic, whatever, as much as I think that Taylor Swift is like a bastion of a type of mediocrity, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of parts of her artistry that like fall flat for me personally. I also think it's very clear that Taylor Swift cannot be the scapegoat for all things on the wrong side of a larger system. Like even as a billionaire, like I think that people want Taylor Swift to be the pillar of something that she is just a symbol for in most cases. That being said, when the album did drop and it was bad, suddenly all the Swifties are talking about, no, it's just for fun. You guys hate fun. Well, if it's just for fun, if it's bad and it's just for fun, I don't want to see her at the Grammys. Let's keep that in mind. I'm out of time. And I'm standing on that. When Taylor Swift does not get nominated or does not win the Grammy, I don't want to see, you guys don't understand and she's so da-da-da-da. Because remember that y'all said it was just for fun. We said it was bad and you didn't deny it was bad. You said it's just for fun. So let's keep that in mind, all right? Let's move on. Guys, that brings us to our last section of the day. Have we had fun together or not? Have we had fun together or what? I'm so glad that you've been here with me. Listen, if you fuck with this show and you want to see more, go ahead, like, subscribe, do all the things. I really need to like write a script for this like preamble, post-amble. But the best way that you can support this show is by sharing it with someone that you like. You know what I mean? Clip that shit. Do edits of me. Do whatever. I don't know. Guys, I'm trying to get on Caleb Heron's show. Somebody dropped that in the comments, and I'm honored that you guys think that I could sit in conversation with Caleb Heron and keep up with that nigga. And I think so too. Let's get into the last subject. Swindlers hate prenups. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. My favorite game to play with people, anyone, friends, families, lovers, whatever, is that I'm like, hey, what if right now we tried to come up with a prenup right now? Like, what if right now we pretended that we were going to get married and then we tried to arrange a prenup for each other right now? Because actually, prenups will reveal to you people's values in such a deep way. You cannot hide when it comes down to the motherfucking paperwork. You want that's a reality show that I want to see. A love reality show that I want to see is niggas coming up with a motherfucking prenup. Here's why I bring this up. A couple of weeks ago, I was on the Upstairs Neighbors podcast. They had a live show in Brooklyn, New York. I don't know if I did a good job. I'm not going to lie to you. I was so nervous, dude. The show went well. I think the show went very well. Am I proud of the performance that I had on the show? Maybe. I would need to watch it back. They haven't released the clips yet. And I don't know if they're going to. Maybe on their Patreon. Listen, I've been rocking with Upstairs Neighbors since before any of you were fucking born. I was the OG fan, the first fan, the biggest fan, the most fan. I'm not going to say I built this house. Let me not get crazy. I ain't built this house. It's a complex. And I just live upstairs. Amen. Or maybe I live downstairs. I'm somewhere in the building. I'm the super. Anyway, but no, I've been rocking with Dom and Maya because I know funny when I see it. And I know excellence when I see it. And I love women in STEM and I love women in business. Amen. I love Black girl entrepreneurs. That being said, when they invited me to be on their live show, I was so honored and I was so like excited. I get there and I'm so nervous. Everyone is backstage and then the show starts and they do the front half of the show by themselves. It's just the two of them. And they're like, we're going to bring you out as a special guest for the last half of the show and we're going to play this game. I said, okay, cool. For the entire 30 minutes of the show before I get on there, they're telling a story about some man, like some buff ass man who's an asshole. Anyway, and it goes into this larger point about how every man on earth deserves to die. They're like, every man, every Y chromosome on this motherfucking planet deserves immediate death, castration. That's not a paraphrase. That's a fucking quote. And then they say, except for this guy, he's really cool. Come on out with it. I'm like, wait. So I get out there and I have to be on my best behavior. Do you understand? It really, I said, you know what? Hold on. Center it. Cause they set a crazy stage for you, my guy. Hold on, everybody. I just feel like at that point, you are literally incentivizing people to deep fake a video of me shutting down the government, stealing the Declaration of Independence. Let's set the expectations low, okay? I love them. They're my friends. Anyway, here's the thing, though. A couple of weeks ago on their show, they were talking about prenups. Dom Roberts, girl, you were on there talking about, yeah, I think when I get married, I might not do a prenup. It just doesn't seem like my thing. My love, you are young, fly, black, hot, and successful. You got to sign that motherfucking paperwork. If anybody is listening to this show right now, this isn't even necessarily about, if anybody young, fly, and successful is watching this show right now, as I know all of you are, sign that motherfucking paperwork. Do not let these grubby ass swindlers get that bag off you. Do you know how nasty divorce is? My parents never even got married. My parents were never actually like married, like contractually by the courts of law. And I still know how nasty divorce is. That shit gets gruesome. You better sign some paperwork when you love somebody before you have to sign that paperwork while you hate them. Amen. Even if you think that shit is, I mean, here's the thing is that anybody that loves you wants you to get a prenup. A prenup is like the contractual condom for your marriage, your life, and the financial solvency of both. It's just crazy. You know, it's concerning to me that the second you start talking about a prenup, suddenly everybody sounds like a high school boyfriend. Oh, well, if you loved me, no, we don't need a baby. I won't cheat on you. I'll never leave you. We're going to be together forever. Stop it. Sign the fucking dotted line. It keeps everyone safe just in case. Doing a fake prenup with people I love, it's like one of my favorite games. It's like, okay, I'm at a dinner table with my friends. I'm like, hey, y'all, if you get married and then you get divorced, who gonna keep the ring? Who gonna keep the ring? Let me tell you something right now. If I get married and that shit don't work out, I know I dropped some bands on that ring. I want that shit back. What do you want it for? What do you want it so bad for? I bought the shit. Give it back. You might pawn it. And if you pawn it, how come you get the motherfucking money? Give me that shit back. No, seriously. You know what I mean? Like when you do a prenup with someone, it's also like one of the last right before getting married, one of the last places where you can really break down and like understand somebody's values, somebody's fucking values. What do you really believe in? Not in the good times, but in the bad times. What do you think about equity? What do you think about wealth? What do you think about like the divide of labor in a household? You know, if you have a career that you built during the course of our marriage, what do you expect of my participation in it? And also it lets me decide what I want to participate in it, because God forbid, I mean, shit, when you get married to someone, it is a spiritual union and a legal union. And so obviously you don't want to be compartmentalizing inside of the marriage, but it's just like, it's easier to do that if you know that you set up the protections to let loose, that you're protected even if things go left and things go right. And if things go down, some shit will always go down. Some shit is statistically likely to go down. You and your partner are about to get married. You guys move into a house that you have owned since before you got married. You've been paying the mortgage. And since you all have gotten married, this person has been contributing equally to that mortgage, right? Then y'all get divorced. Who's gonna keep the house? How you gonna say it's my house? I've been paying for the house. Oh, so I was just paying rent in your house? Let's talk about that. You really get into some nasty fucking shit. You can learn a lot about somebody. Listen, this is not first date. This is not second date. This is not third date. But it's a pretty fun date, pretty deep in there. And you can't do it. Don't do it with someone that you actually think you might marry before you get married to them. Do it like pretty fucking early when it's still clearly a joke or whatever. And honestly, it's even better to do with people who you're not dating whatsoever. Sit with your dad and do a prenup. You know what I mean? Get in the group chat with your homeboys and your homegirls and work through a motherfucking prenup. You will learn a lot about each other. If you're young, fly, and successful, sign that motherfucking paperwork. Regardless of whether you sign a prenup or not, either you can decide the terms of what happens in the case of divorce, or the courts will decide it. You know what I mean? Then you get into alimony and child support and all types of, and obviously child support, that's nothing to play with. Take care of your fucking kids. But spousal support, if you don't have kids, fuck. Alimony is tough, dog. Alimony is spousal support. It's like child support for your spouse. In the case of divorce, you know, some people will still pay out money to their former spouse because it's like, okay, well, if you left your career to be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom for a number of years, then there's a gap in your resume and it might take you some time to like find a new job that supplements the income that you've lost from living in our marriage together or whatever, to maintain your quality of life, right? And so that you people offer spousal support. It's called alimony. If you cheat on me, you can't get alimony. If I'm writing a prenup, I'm gonna write it right there. If you cheat on me, you ain't getting no alimony. You ain't getting no alimony. Prenup is so flexible. It's so flexible. You can really put anything in on there. Me personally, if you cheat on me, you ain't getting them up. And it's also a fun game because you never really know. When you get married, you never really know who's going to be up for life and down for life. So don't roll that dice. Don't roll that dice. Please sign the motherfucking paperwork. It's like when you're married, it's a spiritual union. So there's shit that you work on that one person is working on, but really you're never going to work alone again. This person is always going to be a part of the things that you create. Since some contribute, like they're always going to have a contribution on all of the things that you bring forward in this life. Their spiritual essence is a part of that as well. You built that brand. You couldn't have built that brand by yourself. Your wife helps you build it. Your husband helps you build it. And when y'all get a divorce, how you going to split it? Are you going to split it? Are you going to split it? Maybe you won't split it. The only way you're not going to split it is if you set that up at the prenup. If you are young, black, fly, successful, sign that motherfucking paperwork. The only people who do not want you to sign that paperwork are people who are trying to rob you. Do you understand? Everybody who loves you wants you to sign that motherfucking paperwork. Hey, everybody, I'm out of time. What's up? This has been 10 at a Time, the short long form show. I am your host, Woodland Pureville. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me know what you think about the new structure of the show. I hope that you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it this way. I actually said that 2 at a time thing as a joke, but I actually think that might be a good idea. I don't know how I would get you guys to call in. Maybe I would do like voice messages or like voice recordings. It can't be letters because I'm not trying to read y'all's letters. I'm not gonna lie. I know some of y'all are Swifties. I definitely do not want to hear your letters. Thank you so much for being here. Again, like, subscribe, share it if you feel inclined. Comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next week. Bye.